The area that I'm going to be working today, I've worked several times in the past and I've got multiple grams out of here. But what I'm going to do today is, instead of running a bunch of buckets, speed panning through as much material as I possibly can, I'm going to take my time. I'm going to check every single pan. I'm going to see if that helps us stay on the best gold or not. I'm going to start by checking through here. I think this is where I'm going to take my first shovel from. You can see all this material that's been jammed up there and a little bit larger rocks here. So let's start doing test pans. First test pan, not what we're looking for. Let's see, we see that one color right there that's actually kind of decent. But I don't see all those micros I normally see. My instincts make me not want to give up on this gravel bar right here, but I just never have good luck here. You would think right here is a low pressure area that the water be slamming into and dropping gold out here, but that's just not the case. I'm not finding that really good gold through here. Well, we were looking for 100 speck pans. How about 200 speck pans? Maybe 100 is a better guess, but a lot. This is the material that we run. One pan. Over here really just seems to be the best. This is where I do well, close to this bank right here, and it varies. So I got hot spots and cold spots, so even within this area, I have to be careful to make sure that I'm running that primo material. Right there, this is where I found a picker, but almost nothing else. And then various spots within here have very high speck counts of really small flour. And so that amazing pan that I just did came from right here. And I'm only 4 shovels deep, and that's where I got that really, really good pan. I'm gonna try another 4 shovels down and see if it's better or worse. So same hole, but going deeper, and that's where the clay layer is. So you don't wanna go more than 2 layers deep because you don't wanna go below the clay. So we might get even better gold in this pan. Well, that second layer deep was good, definitely good, but a little bit less than that first pan. Well, maybe not, I don't know, it's still crazy good. So let's keep going. So I'm doing super large test pans. Normally, if you put your material on there to classify, you can get about 2 to 3 fat shovels in a pan. But if I go like this, I can fit 4 or 5 classified shovels in my pan when I fill it up to the brim. So right where that stick is, that's where I just did those last 2 pans. And the first pan was better than the second pan. So I'm gonna move over, like somewhere right in here. Instead of going deeper, I'm gonna try right here and see if it's better or worse than right here. Pan number 4, full to the brim. You might think that it's impossible to pan through a pan that's this full, but let me go ahead and show you how I do it. First, I do the twist, like this. This is creating enough of a slurry to get the gold that's at those top layers to sink. And then I just do a little shorter side to side like this. All right, let's fast forward, see how long it takes. With the super sluice, you got to periodically check and see if anything's getting jammed up under there. And if it is, you got to clear it out. Got most of the black sand now. All right, that's probably good enough. Let's check it and see what we got. Still on it. Check it out. We're still on that 100 speck pan, or 50 speck at least, maybe 100. Pan number 5. Micro, it's what I like though. Cha-ching. So I'm gonna stick with this. So 2 pans deep, pretty good. 2 pans deep, pretty good. So I'm gonna go over just a little bit more and do 2 pans from right there. Pan number 6, ready to go. I mean, it just won't stop. The micro just keeps on showing up. Every pan. So here's what we got. Hole number 1, did 2 pans. Hole number 2, did 2 pans. Hole number 3, let's do a second pan. Pan number 7. I mean, it just won't stop. This stuff is everywhere. Everywhere. I mean, who doesn't like speck counts like that? Every single pan. It's insanity. So we got hole 1, awesome. Hole 2, awesome. Hole 3, awesome. It gets really deep right there, so I can either go deeper in one of these 3 holes. This was my best hole. Or I can move downstream or upstream, or can't really get much closer to the bank, but I can come closer to me. So yeah, let's go 1 deeper where the stick is. As I continue to go deeper, I'm getting more of this clay that gravels can't penetrate, and it's sticky, nasty. So we're gonna find out if this clay's got good gold or not. Pan number 8. It just won't stop. Pan number 8 is looking pretty great. Man. So going 3 pans deep has a similar speck count to the first 2 pans deep. And there's a lot of clay to break up, and it takes more time. So instead of going deep like that, I'm just gonna move over to the next hole. Pan number 9, and we're doing just fine. It just won't stop. I mean, it's every pan. Every pan's got that many colors in it, but they're tiny colors. So, can you see them? Not really that well from up here. So we got 4 holes going. Good gold, good gold, good gold, and good gold. So the pay streak is at least this big. So we're just gonna go to town right through here. All right, let's see what's in pan number 10. Believe it or not, I think it's actually getting better. God. I mean, that's a major speck count for a pan. Are you kidding me? Wow. So I've been out here digging for 3 hours, and it's taken me 3 hours to do 10 pans. And 10 pans is about 40 shovels. I think we're doing pretty good, but we're moving material a little bit slower than I usually do. But by rolling it back every single time, I think I'm making sure that I'm still on the gold. So I might do better, even though it's taking me longer. Pan 11. Okay, so I would normally say this is definitely a good speck count, but I feel like it's not as good as if I stay closer to the bank. So I'm going to try to stay closer to the bank. I've been leaving myself a little space between each hole that I dig, but I need to stay closer to the bank, and I know this is really good, so I'm going to go in between the holes and get that material. All right, we're on pan number 12 now. Another good speck count. It just won't stop. There we go. Pan number 13. It's just, God, it just won't quit. Wow. Size reference. Tiny. All right, pan number 14. Still looking pretty good. I'm gonna do one more. That's a lot of specks. And there's the last pan of the day, pan number 15. So let's clean up and head home. This time I only classified to 30 mesh. Last time I did 50 mesh. So I'm going to see if that affects the capture rate in a negative way or not. We know how tiny the gold is, so I don't expect to see much. Oh, but I already do. See a few little pieces. Yeah, there's gold in there. Oh yeah, right there as well. Check it out. Okay, let's take a look. Oh yeah. Lots of gold. Got gold right there. We got quite a bit of gold in most of the cells here. I think we're going to be decent, but nothing crazy. Oh, that's a little better than I thought. Oh, wow. Look at all that floating gold, though. Hey, that's still pretty darn good. And we ran way less material than last time. But look at all that shiny, fine gold. God, look how small. And look how much is floating. That's crazy. And there's our second run through the dream mat. Right there. Definitely not enough to weigh, so. It's possible 30 mesh made a difference compared to 50 mesh. I think 50 mesh did better. Okay, now I'm going to pan this stuff out by hand, and it's going to take about 20 minutes because it's pure black sand. So let's find out how much is in here. I'll be back in like 6 hours. I mean, panning through fine grained black sand is just a grueling task. It really is. And here's what I panned out after running through the sluice twice. So not very much. Still a good capture rate. All right, here we go. It's definitely not as good as last time, but we only ran like a third of the material. So it's still pretty darn good. All right, let's tap it up. It's not terrible. Maybe 0.1, which is pretty good for 15 pans. Oh, we got more mercury this time. This could be as high as 0.2, which would be amazing. Maybe not. That's what my initial guess was, 0.1. 0.104 grams. Oh, never mind. That's on penny weight. 0.104 penny weight, which is 0.161 grams. That is really good for 15 pans. Wow. All right, let's see where we are for the year 2023. Through the month of February, we're at 1.17 grams of gold. Not bad. Now, panning and checking to see what is in every single pan is quite a bit slower than speed panning or sluicing, but we did pretty well for 3-ish buckets or so. And so if I were to speed pan through material like that, I could probably run about 3 times as much, and I'd be pretty close to breaking my record if I can stay on material like that. But I appreciate everybody watching. Please like, share, subscribe, and join the Patreon, patreon.com/rookiegoldprospector. And I'll see you next week.